care about the market. Start small, stay small. No sales, no marketing. Microsoft will come and sue you. This company called Peter Norton Computing, about 6 people. At that time, I heard about them. They were about $17 million. But later they sold to just 6 people. No sales, no marketing, nothing. Every one of them is a contributor. So it struck me that sometimes these little products are very useful. And from a at that time, it was, I never thought about micro products. The term did not occur to me and all that sort of stuff. Anything micro was banned because if you have that, Microsoft will come and sue you. So you stayed away from micro. But the idea of doing something small, it's a small bet. You can fail. You don't lose, your entire fortune. And this is even before I read the book Small Bets, which came 10 years later. I like the idea of doing things small. So I was tracking XML, and then the internet was just getting up. All these browser wars were going on and all that sort of stuff. I started bookmarking every resource I could find, and I had about like 300 bookmarks. And I said, Bobby, how am I going to crack all this stuff? So why can't I just write a script and see, go to the page and see? I don't even know whether it changed since yesterday. So why don't I write a small script to just go to all these pages, snapshot them, and go there next day, snapshot them again, and then compare these two things and highlight all the changes, like what you do with versions of documents. Oh, simple enough idea. So let me do that. And then, so I asked a friend of mine. He's like a very senior person, Suleka now. He's a Perl expert. So he wrote a Perl script and said, Dore, here it is, run. And then I was running it and I was pretty happy with the results. I found out that even though I was tracking 300 bookmarks, only about 30 or 40 of them would actually change each day. So I don't have to look at 300 pages. And it will highlight all the changes. A lot of them are comma, counter hits, how many times the page has been hit, because people would display those counters very proudly in the beginning. Now nobody does that. So all those kinds of comma, period, something would have changed and all. I said, these are all trivial changes we can discard. So I said, okay, then I'm not going to go and look at these 30 changes every time, page by page. So why can't I just, email myself an alert whenever a page changes, and it will send me a summary of these changes. And if anything looks interesting, I'll click and then I'll go and see the full page change guides. So maybe at the time, a lot of tools that we have today were not there. So it took us a long time. But today, if I have to redo it, it'll take me 2 to 3 months to do it. Because there's a diff library in Python, all these kinds of things. So I said, this is a very simple product. I'm going to use it, but why? If I can use it, why can't I give it to other people to see how they can use it? And we gave it away. And then we suddenly found, and I think I told you that story about, we posted here and there a couple of places, and suddenly we had like 3,000 users. No, not a single phone call, no Google ad, nothing. So that is the second characteristic, is that you don't even seek out people. This is the kind of thing that attracts the innovators. You just have to like make it known. Like at the time, Beta List was one forum, Mozilla Developers was another forum, and some dude picked it up from this and wrote my favorite tuples one thing, and then suddenly there's a bunch of whole librarians called special librarians. These are all research librarians. They picked it up, and suddenly we had like 3,000 people, and we were saying, wow, we never did anything, and just like 3,000 users get. And suddenly some guy called and said, hey, I want a server version, all that stuff. If it generates revenues, even better. Like that's a
Nirvana.
But it's taking me in the direction in which I want to build bigger product. So then that one view. MVP is a small portion of a large project. That's how you think about it. You conceive it as a prototype of a larger project. You want to validate the hypothesis that this market exists, this need exists. So in the micro products, it's not like that. We said, hey, I want something useful. I look around, I don't find anything useful. I'm going to build one. I don't care about the market, whatever. Once I build it, there may be a few people which I can test out to see. And so now I don't have to think about the total available market, where is it grow, none of those things. I'm going to build something to fulfill my need. Or I have a friend who needs something and I look around and I don't like any of the solutions that are around. So, okay, I'm going to whip up something and give it to them. It could be a few weeks, it could be a few months, but typically 3 to 6% months should not exceed. And you can build it on weekends. So that is the major difference, right? Is that you are building something to fulfill a very, very, very niche, uh, very clear need. You know, there's no doubt that this need exists. I said, what do you do? How many competitors do you have? And he said, oh, seven primary and about 18 secondary and all that. I said, how do you track all of them? He looked at me. I go to their websites, of course. I said, how do you know it has changed? How frequently do you go? How many pages do you visit? He said, do you have a product for that? I said, yeah, that's our product. So the goal of that one question is to evoke
Curious.
curiosity.
Yeah.
And then say, and then what? They have to ask you that question. Your thing is, am I growing at a certain rate? Am I getting customers at a certain rate? Is it being used? For me, for a micro product, it's the amount of use. How much are people using it? Is a single metric of success. People are not using it enough every day, then it's not a must-have product, right? It's a nice-to-have product.
Daily active users, DAU.
Yeah. No, yeah, daily active users takes it into count. I'm saying that daily active use. So that is one metric of success. Second thing is, will they tell other people about it? How many people are they willing to tell about it excitedly, saying, hey, I found this tool that does this for me. For 30 days, you say every day I'm going to come up with one problem or one solution. I'm going to just find the most trivial, and it may have nothing to do with the field you are in, no digital transformation stuff, nothing. It just says, the walk from the bus stand to my office is too long, could be one problem. Why are our buses so dirty? Is there a product that can clean the buses? Okay. And the buses are not flying, or even when they're flying. Are there things that you can do? Like people put their elbow out of the bus, two buses go very close by one elbow one. Are there things that can automatically blink a light? Driver has to yell, So you pick any problem you want, right? Just write it down, because all ideas start out as, you need a lot of ideas to get a few good ideas. And you need a lot of good ideas to get a great idea. So don't worry about great idea. Don't worry about perfection. So you take these ideas and see which ones are you really, really passionate about. So you can say, here is the problem. I face it, or somebody I know face it, because you need to have a person whom you can go and talk to. If you face it, that is the best, because you have all the information you want. Then I'll go and take my problem and write a solution, one paragraph. Go Google that paragraph, paste the paragraph, and whether Google comes up with products in that space. Okay. And then I'll go and look for places like Product Hunt and Beta List to see if somebody else also thinking about such problems. That's why they're creating products and putting it in Product Hunt. I'll look at all the crowdfunding sites to see why are they coming up with these ideas. So you start gathering, like
market intelligence.
Yeah, a whole bunch of things, and then you filter out all the things you are not interested. I'm competent in doing it. I'm interested in doing it, and this is my weekend hobby. Or I'm competent in doing it. I'm interested in doing it. Somebody will pay me for it. This is my business or my alternative life, work life, for example. And then what is the minimum that demonstrates the capability of this product? That's your micro. There is this conference called Micro Conference. MICROCONF. It's organized by this guy who wrote this book on start small, stay small kind of thing. You don't have to stay small. At least you can start small. And micro conferences were full of such products. People come and talk about their products, and everybody says, "Oh, that's cool. This is cool. Let's connect these things together, do bundles." And this was one thing we used to do when Microsoft created Visual Basic. We had this component market. We used to do component bundles where non-competing products we bundle together and deliver to user at a lower cost. And micro products will make that happen. If you don't need to really great design, just have to accept some standard input format, standard output format. Now it has become JSON or XML or whatever you want. Then you can glue together a bunch of components, and some of them are not your components, and you provide this what is called the total product in some cases to take care of it.
It's very inspiring. What can I say? Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For giving us this gospel of a new way of thinking. And like I said, you have been one of the most generous people that I have seen with respect to sharing ideas and knowledge, and more importantly, time. right, with this precious commodity.